Good morning, everybody. So great to see you all. After a year, we are back to IPDET. Dear Professor Christian Leumann, Rector of the University of Bern, dear Alec von Grafenried, Mayor of Bern, dear Dugan Fraser, Program Manager of the Global Evaluation Initiative, distinguished guests, dear IPDET participants, welcome to Bern, welcome to the University of Bern, welcome to IPDET 2023. We are so happy to have you all with us, joining from around the world in those turbulent times for a unique experience of learning and networking during the next 2 weeks. My name is Stefanie Krapp. I'm head of the program, and I will guide you through the next 1.5 hours of this welcome session. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our guest from Swiss organization. This is Reto Tönen of the Evaluation Corporate Controlling Division of the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation. Reto, hello, welcome. Thank you for being with us. We are also welcoming representatives of the university's Continuing Education Commission. First of all, Professor Adrian Ritz, head of the commission. Welcome, and thank you for being with us, as well as colleagues from various university departments. All of them showed their support for IPDET in one way or the other over the past years. So thank you for being with us this morning for the 2023 IPDET opening. After 2018, 19, and 2022, IPDET is delivered for the 4th time on-site in Bern. In 2020 and 2021, we designed and implemented a pure virtual program due to the pandemic. The highlight was definitely in 2020 with the world's first evaluation hackathon. Is somebody here from the evaluation hackathon? Claudia? Oh, some more. Great. Very good. So welcome to IPDET on-site. Since then, our yearly program consists of the 2 weeks on-site program, which is the heart of IPDET, a number of online workshops, virtual community building activities, as well as online and on-site global outreach activities. For example, with parliamentarians and parliamentarian staff from South Asia on the use of evaluation for their parliamentarian work. This activity started with a virtual workshop mini-series in 2021 and concluded with an intensive on-site training in Sri Lanka in March of 2023 in partnership with the Global Parliamentarian Forum and the Asian Pacific Evaluation Association. I think we have some participants from this special training with us here. Where are you? Welcome. Welcome to IPDET in Bern. We are dedicated to evaluation capacity development as an essential factor to the increasingly complex requirements of evaluation, especially in light of the SDGs, the global climate crisis and wars all over the world, and one of it in Ukraine, in the middle of Europe, is not far away from here. It's more important than ever to develop individual and institutional capacities to conduct, commission, and use high-quality evaluations, including strengthening the role of the civil society in demanding, conducting, and using evaluations. Evaluation stands for objectivity, transparency, truth through appropriate assessments of political measures. It can only operate in an environment with institutions of democratic order. We as evaluators have a special responsibility to further support democracy through our work. IPDET aims to contribute to develop evaluation capacities globally so that evaluators all over the world shall stand up for a free, democratic, basic order and back victims of terror and tyranny. We stand strong with everybody suffering from autocratic or totalitarian oppression and aggression. The coming 2 weeks, an intensive program lies ahead of us, starting with the core course on fundamentals of evaluation, followed by a week of specialized workshops in which you will tailor and deepen the learning taught by renowned international faculty. In addition to joint learning in both large and small groups, the program includes networking events and more to enable interaction with other participants and experts in the field. It's time for the official opening of the 2023 program. And who could do that better than the rector of the University of Bern, Professor Christian Leumann? Thank you for being with us again this morning, welcoming the participants in the University of Bern. And the stage is yours for your welcome address, Professor Leumann.
Well, I would like to give you, to all of you, a very warm welcome from the board of the University of Bern. It's my pleasure actually to be here again. And if I'm thinking back on the six issues that we had before of IPDET, then I'm really happy to see this room being full and even having persons who have to sit on the first floor. I remember very well the first year we started, we were actually in this building, but somehow somewhere down in the basement rooms, more or less, in a small seminar room. And now this is actually full, and it looks as if we would have to look for a larger room for the next time, which tells me that the community is growing, and I think that's a very important thing. And it's a very good thing along the lines that Mrs. Grapp already pointed out before, because evaluation, of course, is an important fact. Now, evaluation. First of all, I would also like to welcome, where is he now sitting, my actually pendant of Germany, of the Seewahl in Germany. He is right in the back. Great to have you here again this year. I think it's very important that we can do together with the University of the Saarland and the Seewahl actually these operations in continuous education. And obviously it seems to be a winning thing, because otherwise actually the World Bank probably would not be with us today. And I'm very happy that we have the confidence, of course, also of the World Bank, which gives us essentially the trust that we are doing the right things here in this continuous education program. Continuous education, of course, is also a focus point of our university. We have more than 136 programs that we offer to people who are actually outside of the university, who are in their professions, in private companies, at the public level, in NGOs, wherever. And all of them actually are, of course, now under stress, because we are living in the digital transformation world. And this will change the way how we operate, and it will actually happen in all fields that we do. So you're already quite well advanced on the level of digitalization, but it will transform our societies, and it will be important actually to find out what this makes with us and how we are going to operate along those lines. We are thinking along the lines that all our students that we have, our regular students, will probably come back one day again to our university, because they need more experience, they need more competencies as they got when they actually left the university, because it's needed and it's necessary to fulfill essentially their requirements on their jobs that they are going to have. Sustainability is, of course, a big thing also. Sustainability has always been at the heart of our university. We have a focus point, a thematic in the thematic series of foci that we have at the university. We are actually offering not only bachelor and master courses on sustainable development, we have at least 2 centers of excellence in science that we are actually running for more than 20 years by now. This is the Oeschger Center for Climate Change, and it's the CD, the Center for Development and what is the other one? Center for Development and Environment, of course. How could it be? I'm very happy that I have help here out of the lines. But we have actually added to this a while ago the Wyss Academy for Nature, which is a public-private organization where essentially the Wyss Foundation helps us to sponsor different activities that we have on 4 continents of this planet. We are running centers of competence along those lines with the Wyss Academy for Nature in Africa, East Africa. We are running centers in South America and also in Southeast Asia. And the idea of these centers is always actually to bring people together, to train them essentially on how to cope with climate change and what needs to be done next along those lines. And that's, I think, very important. It shows also what the University of Bern is doing along those lines. And I think we are known for being valid partners on the sustainability questions that we are working on. Then, of course, there's the third thing, evaluation. And that's the main issue that you're going to talk for the next 2 weeks. Evaluation is something that is natural for a scientist, because when we started out actually being funded by competitive funding, every proposal that you send in will be evaluated at the end of the day. Either you pass or you fail. Once you pass, then of course you have to do your work. It will be evaluated what you did. And at the end of the day, you also spend finances. And it's an important thing at the end of the whole project to figure out and make clear for what you actually spend all the money. And now we are bringing this, of course, into a different level. You all will have duties along those lines, and it always goes along the lines. The programs that you do and that you supervise have to be evaluated. You have to figure out whether the aims actually are fulfilled. And you need to do this on a governmental level, you need to do this on an NGO level, on all different levels. And I think it's important, even if I hear once in a while our scientists by saying, I've enough of evaluation, I've actually had so many evaluations in my life, I can't see it anymore. But I think it's a very important responsibility that you have along the lines. Money is not endless, and money needs to be spent in the right way. And evaluation actually helps to figure out that this happens along those lines, and that the outcome, of course, is corresponding to what the input at the end of the day was. So you're going to have 2 interesting weeks ahead of you. And I'm very happy that we also have our mayor here, because he is also providing, as I have heard, for the reception this evening, the liquid ingredients. And I think on having a day like this, it will be very necessary, as temperature will raise along this day. And we can feel it already in here. It's hot, and as you can see, this is our climatizers in the room. We are very sustainable along those lines. This is air conditioning a la sustainable University of Bern. I hope it works for you, and I wish you all a very happy 2 weeks here. Take the time and have a look around the University of Bern too, of course, in the city. And I'm sure that Alec will tell you a little bit more on the pleasures that the city of Bern offers. And if you're feeling too hot, go up into the mountains. This will cool you down for the next days. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to have you here. Thank the World Bank, thank the University of Saarland, and thanks to all the organizers here that are sitting in part here that have done it, and thanks to Ms. Trapp.
Thank you so much, Professor Leumann, for officially opening and welcoming our guests to the University of Bern. And thanks for having us again here in the buildings of the University of Bern. And no, please don't go to the mountains yet. Those of you who are staying 2 weeks, we all go on Sunday, and then we enjoy the height, and it will be a little bit cooler. Actually, it's quite cool in here. It will not get cooler in the whole building, so you should enjoy while sitting here. So now, you're probably interested who you are, right? Let's have a look at it. Now, this year, for the whole 2 weeks, we have 172 participants from 58 countries throughout the 2 weeks, and 120 participants from 56 countries are represented here in the room. So welcome to all of you, and we are so happy that you made it to Bern. So, countries with the highest attendance, you're probably interested. Let's see. Can you make a guess? No, probably not yet. Right? Oh, it's difficult. There's so many countries. But it's the United States with 18 participants for the whole 2 weeks, right? Followed by the Philippines and Italy and Switzerland, Netherlands, France, Ghana, Kenya, Mongolia, Nepal, and Pakistan with 5 each. And then we have 22 countries with 2 participants and 21 countries with 1 participant. So that's over the whole 2 weeks. Let's see, for this week, only for the core course, yeah? Highest attendance, again, United States, Ghana, Kenya, Mongolia with 5 participants each, Switzerland, Nepal, Pakistan, 4, and then Brazil, France, India, Philippines, South Africa, Trinidad, Tobago, Ukraine, Yemen Republic, 3. And then again, we have 18 countries with 2 participants and 23 countries with 1 participant. Isn't this fantastic? What a rich experience it will be. And you should definitely make use of this heterogeneity of this group, of the rich experience of each of you, and will provide you a lot of possibilities to engage with each other. The core course will be very intensive, right? You will spend the whole week together, but we will do a lot of group work in small groups. So here you can engage in a lot of discussions with your peers and so on. And you should definitely check out the boards where we offer you a couple of other possibilities to engage with each other. Let's have a closer look at the countries. And I would like you to stand up if you see your country. So we have 26 participants, only in the core course, from Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belgium, France, Georgia, Germany, Ireland, Kosovo, Kyrgyz Republic, Serbia, Switzerland, Turkey, Ukraine, United Kingdom. So from Europe and Central Asia, where are you? Come on, come on. Welcome. Cool, thank you. Now we have 24 participants from Sub-Saharan Africa, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, the Gambia, Ghana, Kenya, Mali, Nigeria, Rwanda, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, Zimbabwe. We want to see you. Where are you all? Welcome to IPDET. Fantastic. Now, 18 participants from East Asia and Pacific, Australia, Cambodia, China, Indonesia, Laos, PDR, Mongolia, Philippines, and Thailand. Where are you? Please stand up. Sawadee-ka. Welcome. 18 participants from Latin America and the Caribbean, Barbados, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, pura vida, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Guatemala, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago. Bienvenidos, where are you? Welcome to IPDET. Thank you. And 17 participants from South Asia, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. Can we see you? Where are you? Welcome. Thank you. 10 participants from North America, and here they are again from the United States. Now we want to see you. Come on, where are you? United States. Welcome to Bern. And we have 7 participants from North Africa and the Middle East, Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Morocco, and Yemen Republic. Where are you? Welcome. Sabah al-khair. And what do you say about that? Nothing to add, right? Women power. But men are also welcome. Don't worry, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, this is also quite interesting when you have a look at the organizations represented here in the room, right? So not only you're coming from different countries, but you also work in quite different organizations in different positions. So majority is from government, ministries, agencies, bureaus. This is the high majority, followed by UN or UN specialized agencies, but we also have quite a high number of other international organizations and NGOs as well. And I think that's the main part, right? And here, oh yeah, from VOPs, from voluntary organizations also. Who is from VOP? Very well. You know that we highly encourage representatives from evaluation associations from all over the world to come to IPDET because we support developing those associations because they come from the evaluators' side and they can push very hard the institutionalization of evaluation in the countries. So very welcome. Both groups, yeah, of course, even better. Kazim, welcome. Pakistan, highly represented. Yes. Perfect, perfect. Thank you for highlighting that. Great. Okay, so now you've been traveling quite far. And we would like to see who has the farthest way. Well, we start with Mongolia, which is already quite far, right? 6,900. Hello, Mongolia. You made it. Followed by South Africa, Johannesburg. Long trip, long trip. Mexico City, also quite far. Where are the Mexicans? Okay. And we have Thailand. Where are our Thailand representatives? Not there. Maybe they arrive next week. Maybe they're still traveling. Oh, here you are. So, from Bangkok, Sawadee-ka. And we have Chile, Santiago de Chile, Claudia, where we need us. And now, what do you think? Who has the farthest way to travel? Final. Who? Oh, yeah, could be, huh? Yeah, Australia. Wow. I hope it will worth it to travel so far. Very good. So now, one little task for you, because you are in Switzerland and you are in Bern, and we would like you to take the opportunity to learn a little bit about Switzerland and Bern. And there are a couple of questions we would like you to fill out. And who is doing this? Thank you. So you can all register and type and answer the questions. 3 questions. Yeah, you can also scan from here, right? Yeah. Does it work?
Yes. When everyone is entering, then we can start. Oh, thank you. When everyone is there in the survey, then we can start the poll. So please go in, scan the code. You're all in? '85, '88, '89, '90 players already. Okay, let's start.
How many national languages has Switzerland? 1. Sie hat keine. Sie sagt, sie hat keine Fragen gekriegt. Ich glaube das.
Get a question?
Das dauert aber lang. Okay, let's see, wow. 4 questions. What is the 5th question? Wait, no, first we start, what are the 4 questions? What are the 4 languages? French?
German.
Romansh? French? Italian. 4. So what is the 5th? 7 people thought there's a 5th language. Interesting, huh? Yeah, English. Oh, Schweizerdeutsch is the 5th, yeah. Okay, next question. So, now we see. And you definitely have to try the chocolate while you're here, right? Okay. It's not that much. It's not that much. But it's quite a lot, right? 180,000 tons by 18 chocolate factories in Switzerland. Yeah, and you really have to try them. And you have 2 weeks time to do that. Okay, next question. Final one. And that's a very important question. It's also a question for Alec. How many fountains has Bern? What? Ooh, you have not seen them all, no? So you have still time to walk around the city and check out the fountains. What is really important is you can drink from the fountains. So it's drinking water. And they're all over the city. And just bring your bottle or bring your IPDET cup. Take a picture while you're pouring the water. And just use those fountains they're everywhere in the city. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll do every morning a little Switzerland story or questionnaire. And by the way, Bern. By the way, the city of Bern. So we have somebody with us who is not only very familiar with Bern, but who's shaping the city in a very distinctive way. So like, for example, when you walk around the city, you'll find many green public places where you can sit down, you can chat, you can relax. And before there were traffic jams. So, who is responsible for that? It's Alec von Grafenried, the mayor of Bern. Thank you that you're with us. Please give you a welcome speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Bern. It's a great pleasure to have you here. We started just summer school holiday this weekend. So everybody leaves Bern and you're coming in. So this fits very well. And you fit very well to Bern as well, as you are 68% ladies, if I understood well. So this is exactly the number of representation in the City of Bern Parliament. City of Bern Parliament, 68% of ladies since last election. So, welcome to Bern. I am a politician, I'm not an evaluator. We have specialists for that, and sometimes I don't like to listen to them because I don't like the numbers they present me. Like, for instance, for housing, we have a lack of affordable housing here in Bern, and we should build 1,000 of new homes every year. And we are only at 500. So every time they come up with new numbers, I say, so bring the right numbers. And they say, no, you have the wrong production. So as you have noticed, Bern is a small city in a small country. It's far from being a mega city like your cities like Bangkok or Manila. So Bern is a very small city, so you may say maybe those small and well-organized cities have smaller problems. That is true. In small cities we have smaller problems, in big cities you get bigger problems. But still we have our challenges, and we have to deal with our challenges, and we try to do it the best way. And I'll give you an example. When I was a small boy, and don't bother, it was a long time ago, you weren't born at the time, but when I was a small boy back in 1970, swimming in the river was prohibited because the river was so polluted. All wastewaters were let in the river, and swimming in the river was not permitted. And Switzerland said, this is not possible, this cannot be. We have a lot of rivers, we have a lot of lakes, and everybody wanted to swim in the rivers and the lakes, and it was forbidden all over Switzerland. So Switzerland said, we have to change that, and Switzerland started to build a huge system of wastewater treatment plants back in 1970. And like 30 years later, we were at the point, and our rivers, our lakes were back clean. And you know, Switzerland is in the Alps, and our rivers go to all neighboring countries to go to the sea. And we have also a responsibility for our neighbors to give them the clean waters, how we get it from the rain. So today, when you go to the river, you can swim in the river, but I warn you, it's dangerous. But if you are swimming in the river, or if you are sipping a glass of water off the river, it's almost drinkable waters. And this due to those wastewater treatment plants that we have all over. There is no used waters any longer let into the rivers or the lakes in Switzerland, which was a great effort, but today is also a great success. And those successes, we've seen them all over the world. We have seen improvement of health, for instance, worldwide. Life expectancy went up, child mortality went down, wealth was growing, there is less poverty, more education than ever before, violence was less, and so was hunger, which is all positive developments. But unfortunately, change does not always bring improvements. There are setbacks like unnecessary conflicts, as the mentioned conflict in Ukraine, not very far from here. There is terrorism in Ukraine every day. There is bombings in Ukraine, civil people dying every day. So we have to fight against those terrorists in Russia. So the impact of the improvement I mentioned before is felt less in poorer countries, and therefore it's imperative for world leaders to address the current problems as a whole and find sustainable solutions, helping especially those in need. To make smart and sustainable decisions, leaders will lay back on experts like you, experts that can evaluate policies and programs, experts that can collect data empirically and to assess information systematically, experts that can advise leaders in decision making. So I'm very glad this IPDET program is happening here in Bern. I'm very glad you're here, and I hope you have a nice time in Bern. Whenever you find time, go to develop the 100 fountains. I have not found them. These are only public fountains, and there's a lot more of private fountains in the city. Enjoy the UNESCO World Heritage. Enjoy the river. Enjoy the relaxed summer life in the city. Enjoy the concerts. You will have a rock concert on Wednesday. Muse is playing, and there's a restricted area inside. It's sold out, but you can sit on the green outside, and you will also be able to enjoy the program. This is Wednesday night. Then from Wednesday night, we have a rock festival on the hill. This will not be possible for you because you will sit in here, but maybe from far you will have some noise. So this is the rock festival with 20,000 spectators on the hill. Enjoy Bern. Enjoy your lessons, and thanks for coming, and thanks to the University of Bern for providing us all that. Thank you.
Thank you, Alec von Grafenried. I have to give you a special thanks, not only for the pure water in the city, but for the pure wine we are going to enjoy this afternoon on behalf of the city of Bern. Thank you very much. So, who are the partners of IPDET? I would like to introduce you to them. First of all, the program is run by the partners you're seeing here on the slide, by the Center for Continuing Education at the University of Bern and the Center for Evaluation in Saarbrücken in Germany, in partnership with the Independent Evaluation Group of the World Bank and the Global Evaluation Initiative. For 20 years, the Center for Continuing Education had been conducting professional, interdisciplinary, continuing education programs in evaluation that range from 1 day to a 2-year Master of Advanced Study program. Dr. Christina Kunz, director of the center, is with us this morning. So welcome, Christina. Here she is. Welcome. Also, for more than 20 years, the Center for Evaluation has been globally active research, consulting, educational institution that combines classical evaluation work with theory and method development, as well as training and further training. The CEVAL is involved in 2 evaluation master's programs, one of them in English, which is offered in a blended learning format. Welcome to Professor Reinhard Stockmann, Director of the Center of Evaluation, and Dr. Wolfgang Meyer, who's leading the master program in evaluation. The 2 institutes complement each other perfectly with regard to the further development and implementation of the IPDET program, which is now being conducted in this constellation for the 6th time on behalf of the Independent Evaluation Group of the World Bank. And since 2021, IPDET is core implementing partner of the Global Evaluation Initiative, GEI, of the World Bank. GEI is a global network of organizations and experts supporting developing country governments with strengthening monitoring, evaluation, and the use of evidence in their countries. The support is focused on efforts that are country-owned and aligned with local needs, goals, and perspective. And the goal of GEI is to reduce fragmentation in the evaluation capacity development space and to generate synergies through partnering. So what a great opportunity to have Dugan Fraser with us, the program manager of GEI. May I invite you to your welcome speech, and thanks for coming.
Hi, everybody. It's really very, very lovely to be with you. Last year, I came to Bern for the first time, and I had the very, very special experience of jumping in the river and being carried by the stream. And you know, as you travel down that river, if you hold your ear to the water, you'll hear the tinkling of the riverbed. And it's a really beautiful noise that's quite mystical and magical. And I found myself thinking about what it is about that noise that is so appealing to me. And I realized it's something like evaluation. Because when you do evaluation really well, you'll hear stuff. You'll hear something that an institution is telling you. And it's your skill that you're trying to grow here that allows you to make sense of that noise. When you listen hard and you're able to distinguish between one sound and another, you're becoming an amazing evaluator. And you become in a position to really add value to the performance of these institutions. And if our institutions perform better, we're able to tackle the problems that face us so much more effectively. We have so many challenges facing us. We have the problems of climate change. We have gender inequities, we have inequality, racism, so many things. And yet somehow I continue to feel optimistic about the future of the world. I continue to feel that this amazing species is going to come to understand how we need the natural environment to survive. And evaluation is going to play a key role in this. I don't think it's going to be evaluation as we know it today. I think it's going to be evaluation that comes and changes the world. Sorry, I just need to.
Yeah.
So one thing we know is that evaluation needs to be different. We know evaluation is helpful, we know it's good, but we also know that it could be much better. Amongst the things that evaluation needs to do differently is it needs to get much better at remembering what it's learned. Evaluation as a field is characterized by the fact that it resolves problems and then forgets that it resolved them. And people do amazing, amazing things, but they only do it in one place and they don't share it. And so amazing insights and innovations get forgotten and lost. And we also know that generally, globally, you will find agencies working on very similar issues without connecting with one another. So it's a very poorly coordinated field. What the Global Evaluation Initiative is a very direct response to that. The Global Evaluation Initiative is an effort to provide a framework that allows people who are building evaluation capacity globally to collaborate and cooperate and get better at working together to grow this field so that when we put our ear to the river, we are hearing more clearly and more helpfully what that system is telling us. What the Global Evaluation Initiative does is it draws resources from a range of donors, one of whom is in the room here today. Hi. We take those resources from donors and we work closely with a range of partners. We're housed in the Independent Evaluation Group of the World Bank, but we're a deep partnership with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP's Independent Evaluation Office, and then we have a whole network of partners that we work through. The first thing we do is we focus very, very much on country governments. The purpose of the Global Evaluation Initiative is in some ways to take that evaluative energy and to strengthen it in country governments. The United Nations Evaluation Group and UN agencies, the multilateral development banks and the organizations that do their evaluations, those are strong. We want to see that strength coming and growing in developing country governments. And so to do that, we have a network of partner organizations called the Centers for Learning on Evaluation and Results, the CLEAR Centers. There are 6 such centers. One of the CLEAR Center directors is here today. Hi, Candice. And so we have, and I think there's also people from the Pakistan Center here as well. I know there's somebody from Pakistan, but there, yes, hello, from SERP, which is our CLEAR Center host in Pakistan. So we have a center in Delhi, we have a center in Pakistan, we have a center in Johannesburg, we have one in Senegal, we have one in Sao Paulo, and we will be appointing a new one in Latin America soon. And we're hoping this year that we'll also be starting a CLEAR Center in the Middle East and North Africa. So that's what the CLEAR Centers do. They create country partnerships, they undertake diagnostic studies of M&E systems at a country level, and then they put in place programs to strengthen those systems. The second big thing that the GEI does is it builds knowledge, and we share that knowledge through our knowledge platform. That knowledge platform is a long-standing platform that many of you already know. It's called Better Evaluation. It became part of the GEI just over a year ago, and we're in the process of transforming Better Evaluation into a resource that already does what it does, but more. So we want to be adding a whole lot of new content onto it, and we want it to become the place that people go to whenever they have an evaluative question that they need answered. The third thing that the GEI does is it builds capacity. It does training and professional development. And the flagship partner that delivers that piece of our work is IPDET. As you know, IPDET has a long pedigree. It's been in place for a long time. We are delighted with our partnership with the Swiss and German counterparts here at the University of Bern and the Center for Evaluation at the University of Saarbrücken. It's, for us, an absolutely essential part of our package. We believe that people who travel to Bern to participate in the IPDET program go back to their countries and act as ambassadors. They act as catalysts. They are the people we understand who are going to be the change agents that drive this transformation of evaluation globally. We're so delighted that you're able to be here. I think the pandemic made us really realize what an honor and a privilege it is to be able to do this kind of travel, to have this kind of experience. And before I close, I want you to do one thing. I want you to turn to somebody sitting next to you that you don't know and introduce yourself. Just say hi. Okay. So in 10 years' time, okay, enough. That's it. In 10 years' time, you won't remember the course you did on elements of program theory. You won't remember Reinhardt's course. What you will remember is the people that you met here. You will remember the relationships that you forged. And you will remember the way this place made you feel. And the way this place makes you feel is that you're part of a global community and that you're able to add value. And that's a very beautiful thing. And it's something I think we really need to thank IPDET for. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dugan, for these kind words and welcoming our participants on behalf of GEI. And we are very, very thankful for GEI also for financing AT scholarship this year. And thanks to the global donors who are providing funds to the Global Trust Fund. So this is very exceptional, and thank you so much for that. So, not next. You can see that. The heroes of the 2 weeks and the weeks before. It's the incredible team. So let's meet them and let's greet them and welcome them. Please come over. It's Matt, Soara, Vanessa, Laszlo, Elin, Ercan, Veronika. Here they are. Let me introduce them to all of you. It's Matt, head of the team, in charge of everything. Elin, you probably know from emails because she was tracing money. Laszlo, you know from Global Outreach probably, so he's also supporting on-site. Veronika is supporting the 2 weeks. Vanessa, marketing communication. Soara, registration. And Ercan is supporting the program also. So thanks a lot. And I know that Wolfgang has to say something.
Well, these people do a lot of activities, and one of the activities is a soccer game. And I played last time with this team, and unfortunately I killed the ball. And therefore, I have to bring a ball. This is an original championship ball from 2006 in Germany. And its name is Team Geist, which means a team spirit. And this is what IPDET is about. And therefore, I hand over this football to the boss of the team. And of course, he has to use it on Thursday. Thank you very much, Matt, for doing that all the time. And thank you to all of you.
Thanks a lot. Back to work. Yeah, so feel free to ask them any questions. They are here to support you. Be patient if something is not going perfectly, maybe from time to time, so that they are all humans. But they are happy to be here and happy to support in whatever you need and make your stay as comfortable as possible. So thank you. Now, who is missing still? You're here all for the core course. So finally, let's talk about the core course on fundamentals of evaluation and welcome the core course instructors, Professor Reinhard Stockmann, Candice Morkel, Wolfgang Meyer, and myself, I'm also teaching. So welcome. Yeah, Reinhard. I think there are some questions we would like to be answered from you.
From me?
And I would like to know what inspires you from evaluation.
Well, I think for me as a professor, it is really inspiring that I combine theory and practice, because evaluation, as you know, has always to be useful. And that's a fascinating thing. And there's another fascinating thing for me, because I can combine my work in the field of evaluation with my second passion, and that's traveling. So that's fine.
Great, interesting, Reinhard. And what are you thrilled about IPDET? Because we're here for IPDET for a week.
Well, capacity building, evaluation capacity building is part of my life. And so IPDET gives me the opportunity to live this dream. To work together with so many people coming from so many different countries. That's absolutely exciting. It's unique. Thanks a lot for being here.
Thanks.
Giving me this opportunity.
And we'll spend the whole week together.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. Thanks. Reinhard. So Candice, You came all the way from South Africa. You're director of the CLEAR Center, as Jürgen already mentioned. And we are happy that you are again with us for the third time, I think, right? And so what inspires you from evaluation?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for that question, Steffi. So I think that the context that we work in, there's a lot of pressure for governments to do evaluations and to do evaluations very quickly. And it can seem sometimes that it's just we're ranking up a whole lot of evaluations just for the sake of doing them. But for me, there's an opportunity to bring policy issues and issues of development on the table anew that perhaps have been long forgotten. So even in that moment when there's this pressure to put a policy issue on the table or to have an evaluation topic, it ends up putting a policy issue that perhaps people have thought has already been resolved or has never been resolved, but now there's this vehicle of evaluation to bring it back into the discussion. So one of them has been, for example, in South Africa has been social protection, which has been a highly contested issue. But with the pressure to do evaluations, all of a sudden, a lot of the subnational government, even national government, brought the question of cash transfers and social protection back onto the table. So that excites me about evaluation.
Great, and thank you, Candice. Yeah, and they were just... And what inspires you, or what are you thrilled about IPDET? Because you obviously you came back again.
Absolutely. I have to pinch myself every time I'm invited by Steffi and the team to come back because, wow, to be able to be here, to be part of this legendary program is just absolutely amazing. So I'm excited every single time. I mean, 20 years ago, I wanted to be part as a participant. It never happened. And to find myself here in the space, talking to yourselves, every single time I learn from you. You guys are amazing, the kind of stuff you're doing in your workspaces. I learn from you every single time I'm here. So I'm inspired by you being here. I'm inspired by this legendary place and space that is IPDET.
And good to have you with us again, Candice. Thank you. So, Wolfgang, what are you inspired most of evaluation?
Yeah, well, I worked for many years as a social researcher and empirical research. And then you talk to those people like the mayor of Bern, and they go, what are you doing? Research? Never read something. Then I started evaluation. And he said it, yes, okay, he has to read the reports. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing evaluation. So you really get to the people who are concerned by the issues and make the decisions. So that's wonderful. If they start to listen to you and they start to think about what your evidence is about, then we have a first step forward in our work.
And what inspires you about IPDET? Because obviously you're one of the implementing partners. You must be thrilled by IPDET somehow. So what is it?
Yeah, well, the main thing is, of course, then I can wear all my wonderful T-shirts. So this is my own dress code. I will wear every day a T-shirt from an area. And this is the last one I've been. It's been from Egypt, as you probably spy here. So there are many people from the MENA region here. We already mentioned that before. Thank you for coming here. And this is something which really inspires me. Meeting people from all over the planet and to see how you work together with me and all with all of the other people. This is something very, very important. If you look at so many places in the world where we kill each other, here we love and work together. That inspires with me, with IPDET. Thank you.
Thank you, Wolfgang. I couldn't agree more. It's for us, you know, we work the year round. Of course, we do many other things, like what I mentioned before, the online workshops, and we engage more and more in community building. We developed a couple of virtual tools and so on, but still the IPDET 2 weeks here on site in Bern is the heart of IPDET, and it's always an amazing experience when we all see you arriving and working together for the 2 weeks, but not only working, but also having fun. And it's always great to see when you do postings with pictures where you're together on the train or sitting in the park or anything like that. So that also we highly value, and that's why we want to also provide you a couple of possibilities to get engaged a little bit more personally. And as Jürgen said, this is it's all about. It's a global network, and you are part of this network from now on, of the IPDET network. So I think, well, but where did Reinhard disappear? I don't know.
Yeah, well, he took the money and ran, yeah.
Yeah. What
He's doing that every year, yeah.
Ach Gott, was leid. Ach Gott, was leid. So many people are here. So many people. What are they doing here? Why are you here? Why?
To learn about evaluation and
A little bit louder. What?
deep learning in evaluation and
Evolution. I understand. You are from the Darwin Society, right? Yeah. About this, yeah? About that? Evolution? Is that right? Talking about the fittest people and something like that? Is that right?
Yes, I think it's right.
Oh, really? You think that's about evolution?
Yes, for the evolution, of course.
Oh no, I'm confused now. This is not the answer I expected. You also agree that this is about evolution?
It always depends on the definition.
Okay. That is important. Yeah, definition is always important. I thought, reading here something about evaluation, that this is different from evolution. So maybe you have heard about all these chocolate things. Maybe you like to evaluate the taste of chocolate or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it about that? No. What do you think?
No, I don't think it's about evaluating chocolate.
No. Yes, please.
But probably it could be used for evaluating also in more business parts, like the production of chocolate.
Production, but I think now I got it. I see it. You're a mountaineering society. You want to climb Matterhorn. You know, that's the most famous mountain in Switzerland. And I see you're discussing that, how to climb the mountain, right? And then you evaluate how it was possible to do it. Who has the best strategies? Who found the best route to go up? Is that right? Steffi, is that right? You're a mountaineering club?
Kind of, not really a mountaineering club, but as evaluators, we also have to climb steep mountains,
Oh, really?
go dangerous routes, maybe go back again, start again, plan the route again, find others to go the way together, and finally reach the top.
Yeah, that's great. Wolfgang, have you ever been up there?
Unfortunately not. Yeah, I always tumble down here, probably.
So maybe you can explain me a little bit more what this mountain has to do with evaluation, and why is this a symbol for what you're doing here?
Yeah, as I said, it's a steep, steep mountain, but it's also a very famous mountain. So like IPDET, famous mountain, Switzerland, the Matterhorn. And as you can see, there are 3 main routes, and you should climb the top, and you should start with identifying something which you really want to get a better result out of it. You should clarify a lot of things. And you do this also when you are a climber, because you have to really take care of the planning. What instruments, what else do you have to carry? Somebody is going with you, maybe somebody is staying behind, maybe you meet somebody else. So there's a lot of things you need to clarify first before you can start the mountain, right, Candice?
Yes, for sure. And I think what's really important to remember is that there are mountains all over the world. So here we have Matterhorn, but for those of you who know South Africa, we have a very famous mountain there called Table Mountain. There's also Mount Kilimanjaro, there's the Himalayas. But what's different, or what's important about all of those, is that the climates and the contexts are different. So you have to understand where you're climbing. So what we'll also look at is context, and dig a little bit deeper into some of the important areas of context for us in evaluation. And some of the big things that have been standing out for us recently is culture and also gender. So we'll dig a little bit deeper into those matters as well.
Great. You want to explain maybe a little bit how this works, from developing an evaluation plan and then coming to the top. There's something said here about implementation, about reporting and use. What this has to do with our 1 week's course here.
Yeah, we are here 1 week and we do all the climbing. And it starts right after the coffee break with module 1. And Wolfgang, module 1 is what about?
Well, you will be really surprised. It is about an introduction into evaluation. Wow! And there will be something about what evaluation is. As you know, we already mentioned, unfortunately, it's not about chocolate. But there are several types of doing evaluation. And of course, there is a difference to monitoring and to other aspects. And this will be explained in the first module and first step. So we have to hammer some things downstairs here on the bottom of this mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, and module 2, because we do this together, we climb the mountain together and we show you in a very brief overview the whole steps of an evaluation. So after the introduction and laying the ground, we go all the way up and down. So we will have a look at the planning phase, what should be the perspective here from an evaluator's point of view, but also from a commissioner's point of view. And then we have a very brief look on the implementation phase, going down to the utilization phase. But it will be an overview so that you have right at the beginning already the whole picture, the whole climbing in your mind. And then for the next modules, 3 to 7, we go deeper into various aspects then from here, somewhere in this, on this route. And module 3 will be a very, very important and interesting module.
Well, what is module 3? By the way.
Our module on framing the event.
Our framing, yeah, that's important. It's also important climbing a mountain. You can just notice that the context, for example, it's very important. There are many, many mountains, but in a different context, and there are also different techniques to climb a mountain. So we are talking about that frame of an evaluation to make clear what possibilities, what different possibilities we have. And this we will explain together on Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, then comes module 4. That's Candice.
Yes, module 4, I've already explained a little bit about context, but I think what's really interesting about this is that all of us have opinions and different lenses and perspectives on the same issue. So what comes out there is perhaps not new information for you in terms of your old knowledge, your existing knowledge, but new information about how others might see the very same subject matter.
The next one is module 5. That's about theories. But just to make it clear where we started. So at the beginning, we defined this evaluation objects. We looked about the stakeholders and the theory of change. That's also part of the module 3 about the frame. Then we clarified the purpose, objectives, and things like that. That's what we do afterwards in module 1. Framing and scoping, that's what we already mentioned in module 3. The development of the methodology, we will hear a little bit later. That's module 6, and to develop an evaluation plan. And then it gets very practical. We have to get the data gathering, and at the end we have to write a report. What's actually not very clear here is that we in module 5 also talk about evaluation theory. And what evaluation theory is, you will see it's very different what we usually understand if we talk about theory. It is more about approaches. And I think it's a very theoretical part. It's about theory. But I think also it's a very important part, also beside the methodology, because you learn that there are a lot of different approaches how you can conduct an evaluation. And you should know at least about this portfolio of different approaches. Otherwise, if you know only about one approach, you will always use the same approach, even if the tasks would need a different one. So that's about theory. And after the theory, it's getting practical again. But you can say also the theory part is quite practical because you need it for planning and evaluation. But then, of course, forgetting all this, for the implementation, after doing all this planning work, the conceptual work, it comes to the implementation. Wolfgang.
Yeah, well, okay. You understand the evaluation approach to get on mountains is that we start at the top and going down. That's probably if you have a train running up, for example, to the top of Europe, as we have here in Switzerland, then it's easy to do. Yeah, but while one of these mountain activities the mayor talked about, yes, they play some soft music on this mountain here, and therefore they call it rock music. But here you are for the real thing, for heavy metal. Yes, we are tumbling down all this area here, from sampling, data collection, doing analysis, and of course you have to do headbanging to get all the stuff into your head. So it's really tough. No. Just joking. So what we will do is giving you a short overview and to show what is possible. There are also some new methodologies which are arriving now at the moment. And of course, I will also shortly talk about that and give you an opportunity to work with some of these exotic methods if you want to, and to get you a bit in experience how this could work. So from my point of view, this is the most fun. This is what heavy metal is about, right? And then, of course, if you have done all this wonderful heavy metal stuff, then you have to come to write and reporting. And this is, of course, something which is really tough.
That's in the symphony.
So why did you have to make it seem like boring after the heavy metal? Thank you, Wolfgang. It's possibly one of the most important topics in evaluation, which is utilization. And we almost, I find, as evaluators, lose steam when we get to that point. And I hope we won't, in these 5 days, lose steam because it's on the last day, because it's so vitally important. And there's a quotation that Steffi and I use there to say, if an evaluation has happened in a forest or something like that, and nobody saw it, did it even happen? And we're really going to dig down in this short amount of time that we have available to talk about what are the different kinds of use, because there isn't only one type of use. What are the different kinds of use that you can draw value from an evaluation? And what are the different mechanisms and levers that you can use in order to ensure that your evaluations are used for policy making and program impact? And that wraps up the content of the course for the first week. And then?
Yeah, and then we are going to have fun at the end of the week. We will close with the graduation night on Friday, and I hope you can all join, because then we do the awarding of the certificates, and we round up the week, and then you can relax and come back on Monday morning then. But yeah, let's have a closer look at why are we all here, why are we all doing this. We walked you through the modules 1 to 7, obviously. We had some thinking about it. Why is it 1 to 7? What are the contents behind it? So you would have at the end of the week a quite good overview of what is evaluation and how to do it. And of course, we cannot go in very detail in all aspects. That's why many of you will stay for the second week, where you chose 2 workshops where you can dig a lot deeper into the topic. But Reinhard, there's, I think, a lot more to say about why we are all doing this.
Yes. So now it's just, you notice that it's getting more and more serious. Yeah. Why are we all doing this? And I think we have mentioned it now several times that context is so important. And if we look at our context where we live, then we must say we are living in a rapidly changing world. It has been mentioned before. This world is shaken not only by major crises such as wars, migration, growing poverty and climate change, but also we live in a time in which facts are generally doubted, in which alternative facts are generated, and in which plain opinions are presented as facts. And in addition, there are developments that will completely change our society, our world, such innovations in robotics and, of course, ChatGPT. What can one still believe? Are facts really facts? And which facts can I trust? And I think these questions will occupy us more than ever in the future, and it is still very uncertain whether we will find answers to them. If facts are produced via algorithms in the future, or their validity is fundamentally questioned, what does that mean for evaluation? Can ChatGPT also be used to generate evaluations? What role will evaluation play in the future? We know from our Evaluation Globe project, that's a project of the Center for Evaluation at the University of Saarbrücken, we know from that studies that the institutionalization of evaluation is policy-driven everywhere. That's really a very astonishing result. In all countries worldwide, it is like that. Regardless of their geographical location, the level of development, the political system doesn't matter. It's policy. And that means politics determines the degree of institutionalization and use of evaluation, and civil society does not appear anywhere as a demander or promoter or even an intensive user of evaluation. I will tell you a little bit more about that this afternoon. So, therefore, the role that evaluation will play in the future is highly dependent on political actors, the governments and the parliaments. Parliaments set the legal framework and determine the degree of institutionalization of evaluation in their laws. And governments and their administrations determine the inclusion and use of evaluation in their operational, steering, decision-making processes. So the future of evaluation can be exhausted in a technocratic auxiliary function by following legal and administrative guidelines for accountability, control, or for the innovative and progressive further development and improvement of policies, programs, and projects. But evaluation can also be more. Specifically, it can be used as an instrument, as a tool for social enlightenment. This happens when evaluation is used by parliaments and civil society organizations to assess and question the consequences of government decisions and discuss the alternatives. And for this, evaluation results must not only be made transparent so that they can be used for a public dialogue, but there must also be certain types of evaluation. For example, independent external evaluations and therefore credible evaluations that are aligned with professional standards. Evaluation can then be used for the democratic empowerment of society at different levels, such as municipalities, provinces, and countries. And if evaluation is implemented professionally, meaning in compliance with professional and methodological standards, then facts are produced. The facts then which are produced, they are empirically verified, and I would say they have a special quality. These facts, which are characterized by objectivity, reliability, and validity, can be set against subjective opinions that are parsed to us as facts. And that is why the quality of evaluation is of such great importance. And in order to achieve and to improve this, a high level of professionalization, a high level of technical, methodological, theoretical, and social competence is required. And therefore, a corresponding professional education and training is necessary. And this includes academic study programs like our MABEL program, this blended learning master in evaluation at the University of Saarbrücken, but especially high quality further training programs like IPDET. IPDET is not only the summer program in Bern, but also our online offers and our outreach program. With the latter, we want, in cooperation with other GEI partners, address specific target groups in their regional context, such as parliamentarians in a specific region. This was the case this spring in cooperation with the Asian Pacific Evaluation Association and the Global Parliamentarian Forum in Asia. All these activities supported by GEI and the World Bank are intended to enable you not only to use evaluation in a technocratic or even bureaucratic sense, but to exploit the full potential of evaluation. In other words, to use evaluation also as an instrument for social enlightenment, for strengthening democratic structures and participatory processes, or to reduce it into a popular phrase, to speak truth to power. This sounds a little or even excessively pathetic, but it should at least remind us that evaluation can do more than just provide facts and assessments for powerful decision makers. In this sense, I would like to wish us all an instructive core course in which not only knowledge is imparted and skills are learned, but also in which a fruitful exchange takes place among each other. New networks are created, and an awareness of the social and political role of evaluation develops. Thanks a lot.
Wow, thank you, Reinhard. Now your mindset is ready for the core course, and I think we can take a deep breath before we start with Module 1 after the coffee break. But first, I have some useful information, because the core course happens in a very specific way. So let me introduce you to the frame of the core course. As I said before, we do like a morning ritual with the Swiss story of the day. I'll give you some announcements and information. And because, as you see, we are 120 people in the room, of course you will work in small groups, but there will also some input, of course, and we would also like to engage you here in the plenum in discussions, but we cannot do this very extensively, yeah? Otherwise, there will be chaos, you will be talking, and this is just not possible here in the plenum. So the idea is that whenever a question you would like to raise, but it would not be possible to do it here in the plenum, you write a card. We have a box there, and you write a card with the question, you put it in the box, and it's this. No, it's not it's this box there. So you write it on a card, put it in the box, and then we read the cards in the evening. And in the next morning, before we start the new module, we answer 2 questions. All other questions we compile and we answer in written form, and we will send you later in September or October, maybe we'll see. Yeah. Okay, so that's in that sense, you can still raise the questions, but they might get answered a little bit later. We have coffee breaks, and this is Switzerland, and we are very, very, very punctual. Not only because it's Switzerland, but because we really have to take care of a good time management. Otherwise, as you can imagine, yeah, the whole program will be blown up. So please, everybody of you should have your own responsibility to be back on time. These are the coffee break times, more or less. The lunch break is from 12:30 to 2 o'clock, so you have a lot of time to go over to the Mensa. And it's advisable that not all of you go at the same time. So maybe some of you can wait a little bit, go a little bit later. So it's 1.5 hours, so that should be sufficient. Probably the first couple of days will be a long line, but then it will run smoother. So now you have your handbook of the core course. You should carry it all day, or leave it. I think you can leave it on the table here, but you should have it with you because this is the workbook. We provide you all the material in this workbook, and at the end of each module you find a page where it says logbook, and where we ask you to write some answers of these 2 questions, because then at the end of the week you have a nice like a nice remembering way of what was the highlight, what do I still have to think about, what still questions do I have, and so on. So that when you go home, you can always have a look at it and then think, okay, now I remember I wanted to read about this or that. And first announcement, today, after the course, we start with a nice welcome, Aperolisch, after the class ends right here outside. Aperolisch means there are drinks and there are more than snacks. That's why it's rich, like a dinner, but with finger food. So I hope you can all stay. It will be served right out there. Now, you already heard about the IPDET Cosmos, and I hope you already registered and downloaded maybe the app. This will be the main tool for providing information, announcements. You can share photos yourself. You can find, and here are the you can find others. Maybe you're looking for some advice, so you ask questions. You can try and meet together, or is it okay? Who want to come to the Aare tonight? Whatever it is, you should use this Cosmos platform, which makes it much easier. But we also publish our announcements on the board outside, and you will be provided with photos at the end of the course on the e-platform. So if you do not want to use that's fine. But here the main communication will happen. So if you have not joined yet, please do so if you like, and share news or share questions with others, and so on. Okay, now, know the rules. Of course, there are some rules. And the first one is then please mute your phone. You will use the phone from time to time to do some votings, but I would really like to urge you to mute it and maybe also not have it on the table. It will distract you and it will distract others. So make the most out of it while you're here. And if you need to make a phone call, please go outside. Be on time, we already said that. Write down the questions, share your own experiences in the group work especially, but we will also engage you a little bit in discussion during the plenum. So, what is this? We're in Switzerland, so this is a cowbell. The Swiss story of the day or announcements will be introduced by a Swiss cowbell. So whenever you hear that, either you are late or you know now starts the Swiss story of the day. These bells are used to find the cows in the fog and the mountains, but also they are used to drive off evil spirits in winter, in the dark season. So let us drive off the evil spirits from evaluation and work together on the further professionalization of evaluation. And as we are in real life here, and not virtual, I can invite you to coffee and Gipfeli and enjoy the coffee break. And we start sharp 11 o'clock in this room, but enjoy the break and start to talk to each other and then see you at 11 o'clock. Thank you.